What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. It is coffee time with your boy, Coach Jah. Where's my mug? In the building. Coffee time. I'm setting up IG. Running a little bit behind, but that happens when you have an infant child who dictates when she wants to do whatever she wants to do, like most children do, no matter their age. They always kind of tell you what they're gonna do. Don't care what you think or what you have to say about it. They just do what they want to do. So that's what we're dealing with here. Good morning this morning to everybody. Hope today is a great day for you. It is a beautiful day for me. Um, I'm trying. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. It's just one of those mornings. I'm telling you, it's just one of the mornings this morning. So what I want y'all to do is get ready for today because it is a brand new day. It's a brand new morning. My lighting is so iffy up here. Gotta get my lighting adjusted right in here. Cause like for whatever reason, my lighting just does not like to work with me when I'm up here. But we're working on it. I think I got it fixed now. I think that's better. All right, let's get this show on IG. Let's get IG popping. Tam, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Coffee time with Coach Jah in the building. You know what it is. Are you journaling? That is awesome. That is awesome. I need to get back to journaling. I don't journal as much as I used to. I used to journal all the time. And then for whatever reason, I had gotten away from it. Man, I want to get back to it. And I need to hurry up and get back there. I think journaling is really, really therapeutic. And then it's the constant reminders that are always amazing. Like to always know to leave a record of what you've gone through and you know what you've been through, what your past is like, and all that is always good. A friend of mine has a hangover, and I told him, "What you do when you have a hangover?" When I used to go out to drink, I used to always I used to always have a hot soda by my bed, right? And I do journaling. My actual that is good, Tam. That is good. I used to have a coffee. A coffee. I used to always have a hot soda, and preferably Pepsi or ginger ale, something that was really strong that make you burp. Because for whatever reason, burping allows you to get past. It helps you when you after you had a hangover. Teresa Bryan, good morning to you. It helps you when you burp after you have a hangover. I don't have a clue what it is. And be honest with you, I don't think I purposely did. I think I found it out by accident. I think I was actually just happened to have a soda there. I like drinking room temperature stuff. Like I've never been one to drink ice cold stuff. Like I don't really care for ice cold stuff. I want it to be room temperature. I've always been there, and it's better for you. In fact, it's better for you to drink room temperature stuff than it is for you to drink it ice cold anyway. So like I don't get ice in my stuff and all that kind of stuff. But I will say this. It has saved me many a day. Many a day. Many, 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 many. Get rid of that one and add that one. And I learned that I would take the anytime I went and I know I was gonna be out hanging out with the friends and have a drink, I always have a hot soda and I leave it right by my bed. Diva on Wheels was good. I leave right by my bed because I know when I wake up in the morning or whatever time of night, I know that I'm going to need that hot soda. And it's usually ginger ale or Pepsi. And what it does, it makes you, like I said, for whatever reason, it makes you burp. It makes you burp. And once you burp, you start to feel better. I don't know what burping and hangover has to do with one another, but that's the reality of, at least for me. So I told a friend of mine to do that. So I had to send a message and make sure she's taking care of what she needs to take care of so she can be okay with that. Without written from the heart and Venus, what's good, what's good. But yeah, that's what I used to do all the time. When I know I was going out to drink, that's what I used to do. Kendra, what it is?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Did you ever go out drinking and come back with a hangover in the morning?
Um, Not like a bad hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Never just had like one where I just couldn't function.
Uh-huh.
Well, let me take that back. Maybe a couple of times.
Couple of times.
Maybe a couple of times.
So what was your remedy? Like, what did you do to help with your hangover?
Sleep.
Sleep. Yeah, that's the woman thing to say, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, just sleep. What'd you do?
I always had a hot soda. I'd leave a soda on my bed, by my bed in the morning when I leave out in the daytime, and it'd be hot and it hadn't been open, so it still got all the fizz, and then I'd drink that and then make me feel better. I'd burp and it make me feel great.
A hot soda.
Hmm. It'd be room temperature, and for whatever reason, when you drink soda, when it's room temperature, if it hadn't been open, it really makes you burp a lot. It does.
And the burping is what made you
It
feel
made me feel
better?
better.
Any kind of soda? Was it
So I've always been a Pepsi ginger ale guy. I've
I
always
like
drunk
Pepsi
Pepsi
too.
ginger ale.
Pepsi's better than Coke.
Huh?
So I like Pepsi too. Pepsi is much better than Coke.
Yeah, Coke is whack. I don't drink Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever bring me Coca-Cola. Don't ever bring me Coca-Cola. That's like bringing me a diet soda. I'm never drinking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that worked for me. I would do that and be just fine.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I
I'm,
was
I'm
and see,
not-
well, normally, and the reason why I think I don't get hangovers because if I'm drinking, I drink water. So I'll have alcohol, but I'm constantly drinking water just to. So I think that's why I don't normally get a hangover.
got you.
Now I did recently. Recently I had one, but it was just a mix. You know how you have just a mix of hi, how are you? How you have a mix of it was a mix of liquors. You know, I was out with my girlfriend for her birthday, and it was just like a mix of stuff. And then by the time at the end of the night, before it hits you, you're like, "What the heck did I just do?" like my tolerance level is not where it used to
Is
be.
that what you thought it was, right?
Yeah, it's like something's different here. But I think it was just like the mix because it was like browns and um, topped it off with like tequila or something. I don't know. It was pineapple juice mix. It was just
You just was down for whatever.
yeah. I was just like, yeah, let's do it. You know, it's her birthday. We're gonna, you know. I'm like, oh. After that, I was like, I am stopping. And I haven't. Yeah, no, that was just too much. That was too much.
So when I was younger, I started smoking weed really early.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about before I was 10 years old. And so by the time I was trying to weed my way away from the weed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I started to drink a little bit. And drinking had been my thing to get over smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, I don't know what it was, but I fell in love with gin. That was my drink of choice.
Mm-hmm.
Gin and grapefruit juice. And then people um, used to just hand you drinks. And I mean, it never mattered to me, dark or light. I didn't know the difference. I just like, give me something to drink. So we would have, it's easy to come across a day where you're going to have some E&J and some gin or some vodka at the same time, the same moments. And it's like, it never bothered me. People say, oh, you can't do it. And I'm just like, I don't know what y'all be drinking, but it didn't bother me none.
Yeah, mixing. It's never really bothered me before. I think it's just that I had too much of different. Yeah, I was just like, whatever. So, but they say that, which I've never. Okay, so I've never been high.
Okay.
They say that it's better. I've heard that it's better. You get a better, I guess, a cleaner high with weed than you do with alcohol. I guess with alcohol, you don't really get a high. I guess you're drunk. But they said like the next day, I guess the after effects. Did you ever have a hangover from weed?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't think there's a thing. Now I could be wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think there's a thing it's called getting a hangover from weed. But I don't know, the stuff they smoking now, it might, because that stuff they smoke now. Like, it's a shame that you can smell them. Good morning, everybody joining on IG, on YouTube as well. Thank y'all for tuning. I'm talking with Kendra right now. the stuff that they do now, like I'll be scared to touch this stuff. You can smell it before they even put it to light it up. So I wouldn't even dare.
But you can get a hangover, right, from edibles. Like, because people say that they'll have an edible and they'll be out for like days.
I've never had one, so I don't know. I've never ever had one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've never had one either. But I've heard that with edibles that you can like just be out, just like out.
I'm gonna tell you what confuses me about edibles, what scares me about edibles. Love you back, Kim Hype. It's with edibles, you can actually eat and then not bother you until later. Then everything hits you at one point, you can't handle it.
Yeah, that's what because my friend up in DC, he was telling me about it, and he's like, he had because he's new to it too, right? So he had recently tried smoking or whatever, and then he stopped smoking. And when you learn to meditate correctly, high is awesome. And so he had an edible, and with the edible, he said that he was out. He was like he couldn't function. And I guess it's like I said, you don't know how much is in it or anything. It's just, I guess, one of his friends had made it, so it was like a homemade kind of thing. But so that's interesting though. So he said when you learn to meditate, is he saying meditate with weed or meditate just period?
I'm guessing.
Yeah. I get like an adrenaline high when I go bungee jumping. Oh yes. Yes. So I think I am addicted to adrenaline highs. I love adrenaline highs. I am. Like if you tell me something that I can do something that's gonna I'm like, oh yes, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meditation does make you high.
What's up, V?
Good morning.
Is that your good morning?
Good morning.
There you go. It's nap queen. So let me tell y'all, my parents took that freaking shot, right?
What the
COVID shot.
COVID shot?
So they took the first one, they were fine. They took the second one earlier this week. Mm-hmm. And I was so mad. Well, yeah, I didn't want them to take it, of course, but they're grown and it's like, okay, because they wanted to take it.
Yeah.
So, but they've just had like yesterday they were out because they just had had the all the side effects from it. I don't know if anybody else knows anybody that's taken it, but they had chills. She said they didn't have fevers, chills, headaches. She said her arm was sore, like where they gave the shot. She's like, she felt it. She's like, it was like a burning sensation kind of that went in and like down through her leg. So they were like, today they're better, thank God.
Come on, Rosemary. I am so afraid of that shot. I'm afraid of doctors anyway. I want you to cure me. I don't want you to treat my symptoms. Mm-hmm. Of course, if you have symptoms for anything, you want the symptoms to go away, but I don't want you to just string me along with medications.
Right.
I'm afraid of a lot of the practices. A lot of these doctors, they are not trying to heal. They're trying to make money. Mm-hmm. And that for me I'm very afraid of the vaccine. Mm-hmm. I've made my statements about it. People are saying that I'm trying to bring somebody on 10 times now to talk about it. And so we'll have a longer time to talk about it. I have a friend that's a physician and I'm trying to get them to come on. So hopefully they'll come on and chest. I'm gonna say it like this. I do I'm not going to tell people to not take it because what I don't know, right? And my question for me is, when you take it, are you prepared for what can happen if everything goes wrong? And so you may never get COVID. In fact, I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people have already had some sort of brush with COVID, but your system just didn't break down. If the numbers are what they are, everybody has come across somebody who has had it when they had it. And maybe a lot of us are asymptomatic, and it doesn't affect us, right?
Yeah.
And so taking this vaccination doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. Mm-mm. They say it's supposed to prevent you from not having the life-threatening end results of it. And so maybe that is true, but it's kind of like, I'm not going to use that one, but my thing is, if you don't know how my body's going to respond to COVID, how you know what you're giving me is going to help me with the symptoms?
Exactly.
Because you haven't done enough testing, and those are my issues. People are dying from you taking that stuff, and I'm not happy to go see about that.
Yeah, there's no way I'm taking it. You just have to. It's the same thing with like the flu shot. I'm not taking the flu shot. I'm not taking the COVID shot. I'm not taking any of it because like I'm fine. I'll deal with it. If I get it, I'll deal with it and I'll be okay. And it is. But I agree with you. I think I already had it. I think I had it before they were even calling it COVID because I was traveling a lot with work back in November, December of 19. Like I had hit all the big cities. I was in not all the big cities, but DC. I've been in DC a couple of times. Virginia. I was in Pittsburgh. I was in Missouri. It was just I'd hit a lot of states in that little time frame. And I came home from DC, and I feel then that that's when I had it. Me and Madison, because I had the symptoms of. I had woke up with a fever. I had a terrible cough. My cough was with me for about a month, and I had shortness of breath.
Wow.
And my Madison had the fever, so she had a fever consistently for about 3 weeks. I took her to the doctor. Doctors won't do anything. She had a bad cough. When they're that age, they don't want to give them anything for a cough. So it's just like, we just dealt with it, and we both came out fine. But it was like in March when they started calling it COVID. And I was like, that sounds like exactly what we had.
I don't know. Somebody got their volume up, I think. I hear an echo. I don't know if it's.
I don't hear it.
No?
No.
Yeah, I hear it. When Jah talks, I hear it.
I don't know what that is.
Y'all still hear it?
No, I don't hear it now.
Right, Teresa, I completely agree.
Yeah, they put it together too fast, and I don't think, and I don't know, I don't know. Too many people are dying from it for me. Let's just put it there. I know that they're trying to create what they need to create, and I get that. Too many people are dying from it for me. And then the stuff that's in it, from what I'm hearing, so many people talk about it, I don't want any parts of it. Now, I'm not telling people not to take it and come out my body, my temple. I'm not putting that shit in me. I've been around several people who have had COVID, and they got they gotten ill afterwards, and they told us about it. I haven't gone to be tested. If I'm not sick, I'm not going to get tested.
Right.
I mean, what the hell am I going for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can tell me I'm sick, and now my mind is thinking about being sick, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm drinking my hot stuff every day, all day, as much as I can. When I come inside, I'll overdo with hot stuff, and try to add my turmeric. I got coffee with turmeric in it now. How about that? And so with the K cups, it got turmeric in it, and just trying to do the right thing, because I don't think that people are really paying attention, and it's scary, man. I understand why people are taking that vaccine. It's scary, but I don't think they're thinking about the back end. I don't think they're thinking about it. I don't think they're thinking about, because what's going to happen? Okay, it's helping you out. Maybe you won't even come across it no more, right? But 15 years from now, what is that going to do to your body? If the pills that they've been prescribing for years is still destroying your body, what do you think this vaccine is going to do?
Go watch. So Venus she posted a video on her page, and I was just watching it before we came on about it was she's a doctor, I don't know where, but she was talking about how the language that is in that the government has put out there is targeting black and brown people. And she was reading specific things that were out of it from the government, from the CDC, how it's targeting black people. And she was saying that if you are if you're healthy, if you're healthy and you don't have any underlying health issues, then you really don't even have a need to take this vaccine. This is mostly for people who are elderly. She says she has been working with, a lot of nurses and things, and they put it out there. Black and brown people, it was like what was it? I'm trying to remember. Like, I think it was touted as if we take it, it's kind of giving us some type of racial justice. And I was like, that don't even make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm like, that shit makes no sense. And so, and then she kind of put it into where she talked about how in Africa, they like a lot of people in Africa do not have it. They have very low numbers of having this vaccine because they have a high output of, I think, what is it, the hydroquinine, whatever that is. So they have a high output of hydroquinine, which is, they weren't trying to give that to people here. But I'm like, my mom took the vaccine. She said her shoulder, like her neck, she kept having neck problems for like a while, and they told her, that maybe she would have some side effects. I mean, she's older, but I was like, nah, you get your sea moss, you get your elderberry, like you said, your turmeric. There are so many things that are found in nature that you don't even have to go and put all of that stuff that they have no idea what it is, and you get the pamphlet and you read the pamphlet and you see what's in it, and that. But that's the thing, that they don't readily make it available. And I don't think that people think to Google, to Google what's in it before they even decide to put it in their body. They're like, oh, the government says so. Like, even in what that lady was reading, she said that they were talking about the Bill Gates Foundation and how they were saying to manipulate the media and, and get people to trust to take this thing. And I'm like, that's insane. I ain't take this shit. I don't even take aspirin. Okay. Like, I don't take nothing. If it's not natural, it's not going in me. And so I'm like, nah, I don't trust it at all.
My thing is this. Here's what I tell people in short. Everything that they tell you to take, especially if they say it's natural, right? It has natural this and that, natural that in it. And so if it's all natural, why is it so mandatory for me to drink so much water to flush it out of my system? That right there,
red flag.
that there's an issue with it. At the same time, if it's so natural, why are you telling me that to put it in this pill when I can buy those natural things and do myself at home? Put it in my food, put it in my beverages, put it in whatever I want, blend it in a smoothie. Because I think people would more likely take a smoothie every day with their proper nutrition in it than to take a pill. I drink coffee. When I'm feeling bad, I drink coffee and tea. And if that don't get me right, I go run and sweat and do what I can do because the body naturally knocks certain things out of your system. But that's me. I don't know. I ain't taking it.
Yeah, me either. Not gonna happen. I didn't when I took the flu shot. I took the flu shot one time in my life, and I did not get the flu that time. But I got a bronchial infection that had me out for a week, and I never get sick. I've never been that sick. I was like, "What the heck? You're not gonna get sick?" It's like I ain't never had nothing like that before.
I didn't like that. I had to take the flu shot when I was pregnant with Zion, and I got the flu. I was pissed the motherfucking off. I was so upset. Like, my mom could tell you, I was so angry, and I was already upset due to the fact that I couldn't eat, and I love food, and Zion would not let me eat. So I was pissed off times 1,000. Not only can I not eat, but I can't take certain medicines to feel better. Disrespectful.
Dang.
Yeah, that's fun. So, switching the subject. When you're pregnant, right, and those food things that you stop eating when you're pregnant, like, you never want that stuff again. Like, you have the same reaction years later. Like, I used to eat bologna sandwiches, right? And so it was one time when I was pregnant with my oldest, I remember walking from my neighbor's house to my house. I got halfway and the smell of bologna hit me in the face, and I was nauseous. And I cannot, to this day, if somebody is cooking bologna around me, I just want to throw it. Just makes me sick. Like, the thought of it makes me sick.
Just say the word again. Say the word again.
That's not how. That's not how she said it.
Right?
Like what I say.
Who says bologna?
I thought it was just me.
That's how you spell it.
But
Most
that
people say bologna, but you spell it bologna. B-A-L-O-G-N-A.
Right, but it's bologna.
You say lasagna?
Lasagna. Lasagna. L-A-S-A-G-N-A. Lasagna.
But it's not spelled that way.
Bologna.
bologna?
B-O-L-O-G-N-A. That's
You want some bologna?
No, I'm just messing with
Check this out. Speaking of pregnancy, right?
mm-hmm.
When Snap was pregnant, y'all know I eat scrambled eggs almost every day. I don't give a damn. We kept eating, so we only eat brown eggs. Only eat, they had to be, homegrown vegetarian eggs, or, and you can see the difference when you crack them. Once you open it up, it's very clear. You can see the difference. You'll never buy cheap eggs if you buy those eggs. You'll never buy cheap eggs again. And so I'm wondering why I'm feeling nauseous. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these eggs? So we changed the brand. That ain't work. Changed it to another brand. That shit ain't work. Stop the eggs, no nausea. And then after a while, I was like, I'm just gonna have to be nauseous because I gotta have some damn eggs. Eventually it went away, but man, I can't be without no damn eggs.
So were you having what do they call that? Sympathy?
Sympathy. When a sympathy
pregnancy.
Yeah, like the sympathy.
Look.
I sound like Emmanuel with bologna. When I said bologna?
Bologna? Yeah. Bologna? Like bologna?
No. Emmanuel probably said something like, how would he say bologna?
He was gonna say it would be bologna.
Right. Bologna.
I'm gonna have me some loney.
Y'all having some loney?
Yo, listen. E-Man was in the class last night. E-Man wrote the best poem he's written since he's been writing poetry. Messed me up. Me and Witch was like, I told him he got us read this poem on live because it's one of the best poems he's written. And I told him I like the way he writes, but this particular piece, he finally pushed through. He was like, man, I ain't used to doing that. What you talking about, Ja? I don't know how to say it, what you trying to say. I said, just being vulnerable. He said, yeah, man, I don't do that. He did a dope ass piece, y'all. Dope piece last night.
I can't wait to hear it.
I know.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. That's a hard thing. Vulnerability can be hard.
Well, men, we're not taught that that's okay. We taught that that's weak. But women
are taught the same thing, though. I'm not gonna say we're taught the same thing. I think women are. We get to the point because after you are vulnerable and it's like used against you or whatever, then you pull back from being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the difference.
I think a lot of it too is that the way men respond to it. We don't always respond to it in a way that helps you. They kind of make it feel like I'm not telling this motherfucker nothing again. Because we're not taught to cater to that shit. We're not taught to, okay, well, look, babe, I got you. Hold on, just pause for a minute. We're not taught to do those things. And a lot of that's because we're in single parent homes. And there's no man there, or there's this man that's been through this rough life and military, and it just doesn't allow him to be, he's not able to have that. I remember reading, I was writing the book for my daughter, and I read it in the open mic, and this woman, she was from somewhere overseas. And she just bust out in tears. And she said, man, my dad, I know he loves me, but he can't find those words. And he's so rough. And I know he loves me, but I want him to be able to do that. And I was realizing it's just that we're not taught that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or when people are showing it, they're made to suppress it because it's not, either manly enough, or for females, we being oversensitive, like we're being too sensitive.
Yeah.
But I don't like neither of those because we humans and we have feelings, and you can't tell somebody how their feelings supposed to come out based on a gender, because of the simple fact that we all harness masculine and feminine energy inside of us. So, what I'm saying? Like, how can you tell somebody that the way that they're feeling right now is too feminine because they're a man. Like that just makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't like that part right there, because it kind of really aggravates me, because a lot of people, well, a lot of men say that, arguing, that's a women trait. If you look throughout history, look how many wars y'all done had. Please explain to me what that means. That's not feminine. That's not considered feminine, because that right there, if you want to put a label on it, that's feminine right there. You upset because homeboy done took your goodies. Now you want to fight. Please explain it. Please, like.
Kendra, turn your volume down, I think, on your side.
Let me do the mute. Do y'all hear the yard work? They're doing yard.
No, it's just an echo.
Oh,
it's just an echo. Because when I mute you, it goes away. And I don't want to have to keep muting you like I do E-Man every day.
Is that better?
I don't think it's fair.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, it's
better.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Here we go. We good.
Yeah, we good.
That's better?
Yeah. But and V, you're 100% right. Let me tell you something. Men have more PMS than women.
Bruh.
We got some bitch ass tendencies that we
say that again. Say that again. Say that again for the people in the back. They ain't hear you.
The people in the back.
The people in the back can hear you.
we like, men love the attention of pushing their chest out and feeling like, you know what I'm saying, that's stubborn shit. And we power for a man is so addicting. And we don't know how to balance the two. We have more feminine tendencies than we agree to admit about, but we have a lot of wars and shit start off a little petty shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come and take your stuff and you're supposed to be okay with it. No, this my shit. Stay your punk ass in America. Like, but that's what we do.
Yeah, right.
And we constantly want to tell women that, oh, you this, you that. But to be honest with you, it wasn't for the black woman, yo, and the strength of the black woman, her being able to say, you know what, I'm gonna take that on the chin because I'm gonna smack you tomorrow. But I'm gonna take it today, but tomorrow I'm gonna smack your ass. But that's been our history for a long time. The elders, our ancestors, they went and they talked about all they did, but they always went and listened to a woman. I always say a man might be head of the house, but a woman damn sure is the neck, and she could turn her head any way she wants to. And I think when women, especially black women, I think when black women have finally said, you know what, I've had enough, and y'all start checking each other, y'all would then start checking us, and this shit'll get back where it need to be. There's no way we'd have Black Wall Street. There's no way we'd have a Harriet Tubman. All the things that we had that was amazing was because black women said, okay, it's time for us to straighten this shit up because these Negroes ain't gonna do shit. And because only thing we want to do is see whose penis is the biggest. Who got the most money. That's what men do. We want to.
We work hand in hand, though.
Huh?
You know, like we work hand in hand together, and I think it's
the perfect balance.
Yeah, it's the perfect balance of us, you know, learning and understanding each other. And when that happens, then everything flows the way that it's supposed to. Because we need y'all just like y'all need us. I mean, there's no, you know.
I don't like the saying that behind every good man is however that line goes. I don't like that. And I think it was Cher. She was just like, I'm not standing behind no man. Like I'm in front, or we side by side. And I was just like, see, that's that mindset that I like, because it's just like, why I gotta stand behind you? Why can't we be equals?
That's right. Again, more of an American thing than anything, right? Mm-hmm. Because our ancestors, it was not just men sitting around. In certain times, yeah, but then it was also women just sitting around certain times. But, you know, we come from a culture where, those are the ancestors, and it's women in there and it's men in their life. And women have higher positions than a lot of men would ever have as well. Had run countries, run governments, run armies. They've been that. That's what we come from. And to be honest with you, I think we're the only group of people that come from that particular kind of background. I don't know that history for anybody else. So when they stole our history, they didn't take women in that. They didn't make, of course they talked about, women being goddesses and stuff like that, but that's the shit they stole from us anyway, because they know nothing about it. But that's what we come from. The problem is we want to be this American dream and that this shit work for us. None of this shit don't work for us. But we haven't decided that, listen, yeah, we black and in America, but this American shit don't account for us. So we got to get together and vote so we can have the right shit in place. So it still comes down to us realizing, who we are and what we are. But it's still, I hate to put it off on black women, but it's always been that way. Okay, so let's just say the scripture is correct. Man came first and then women. Well, if man was perfect, he wouldn't need a woman.
I had
If he
something
had
for
his
that.
shit together, he wouldn't need a woman. And so if the woman is there, it's a reason for her being there. There's a balance that men don't have. Sometimes we just need to shut the fuck up.
But also, you said the key word, but there's a balance, because you can't have a man without a woman. You know what I'm saying? So there, within itself, is the balance.
Yeah.
To touch on something that V was saying about, side by side, there was this. Something came up on IG, and it was a pastor, and it was him and his wife standing on the stage, and he was talking about how he was standing, like he was standing with his face. They were standing back to back, basically. And he was talking about how sometimes she needs to be in the front leading, and he got her back. And then he turned him around. He said, sometimes I need to be leading, and she got my back.
Yeah.
It's not, side by side. It's a whole circle.
Yeah.
It's a circle, and you got to be in that whole circle of completeness. If we stand side by side, we ain't complete. We're just next to each other. Anything walk around us, but when we in a circle, we align. It's that whole 360 alignment, and can nothing get inside of the circle. So,
Yeah.
I had something else I wanted to say, but I forgot.
I'm good. Me and Rose was having a conversation, and she was just like, she called me Mama V. She was like, Mama, what if God used men as like the first draft and then women was the final draft? And I was just like, I'm about to put that on a shirt, because God, what are you speaking?
That's the first draft.
Now, but look at the beauty in that still, right? Because even still, that's the case. Not only would he have made the woman the next perfect draft, but now you can't even get no more of these unless they come through her. Unless she stay fit, damn it, you don't even exist.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
We're the orphan. We're the orphan plate.
Oh yeah,
Notepad. I can throw my mascara. I'm not going to, because it might break my computer screen.
Now. But that's it. Like, you don't have man without woman.
Because think of it, we were taking from the rib. So in a sense, we still have a part of you, but in order to make more of you, we have to hold it. We got to carry it. We got to make sure we're good so we can nurture for it. And then we have to push it out into the world.
Yeah.
And even in that, I think that was just poetry. I think that was the best metaphor for whatever it could be. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do a class on that. That's the metaphor coming from the rib, because we're gonna teach now.
I was about to say, if you don't go there, I'm going there. So
go ahead, Lucy. I'll let you get it. Go ahead. I'll let you.
No, you go, because I want.
First, I'm gonna say, since this is a Christian country living, let's go there first. If it said, let us make man, there's a us that came before man. That's number one. So there were some people here before then. Now, whether these people got together and did the natural thing and made man, or whatever the case may be, that's what happened. Something happened. There's an us before there was man. And so there was a new man that was being made. That's number one. The idea of a woman coming from a rib, to me, I don't see it. I don't see it. What did he do? He planted her in the brown soil and then some in the red clay, and then she came. I don't see it. I don't get the term. In fact, scripture in itself is so poetic it doesn't make sense sometimes. And I tell people all the time, if you go to Genesis, it says, the earth had no form or void, but the water laid still. So let's think about that. Form or void. That means there's nothing. If it didn't have a form, it didn't have void. There is nothing there. So explain me how water sat still in nothing. Doesn't make sense. So whatever that poetic line was, somebody got to explain some explaining it. And so if you hadn't got that in Genesis, don't talk to me about Revelation, because you didn't even understand where you walked in the door at. And if you come in the door confused, you damn sure ain't walking through the rest of the house and telling me you got it down packed. And so even that, you can tell me what it means to you, but it's like me saying I journeyed through salt water and never got my feet wet. And so you're like, dude, how? You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot that we miss from that, and scripture and I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. Scripture has its place, it has its timing, but you cannot explain it word for word without putting your emotions involved in it. You got to use this to trick this, because if there's no form of void, damn it, there's no way in the world that water stood still. It had nothing to be on, and that's in Genesis. So don't tell me about Luke and John and Revelations and Exodus. I want to know none of that. Take me to Genesis and explain that. Explain. Let me spell that in the chat so y'all understand. Explain.
Explain. But I mean, I was going to say to that effect that when they say rib, like we have to look at the way that these words are being used. Just like Adam. Adam is not Adam, it's Atom. But we take, and then the rib, I'm with you, I'm with the rib. But rib is the ribonucleic acid, which is in DNA and RNA. So it's not so much that it's a rib. It's still rib, but it's not a actual rib. It comes so we look. Come on, I'm just saying, V. I'm just saying.
You better talk your shit. I'm such a proud sister. I'm like, look at her knowing her stuff. Oh my goodness.
Boy, look, it took me a while to get here, but I was like, because I'm like, that didn't make sense to me either. Like I grew up in Catholic school and none of it made sense, because when you telling me we come from a rib, and I'm like, so why the hell you got to cut the umbilical cord, and why we all got belly buttons? Like that makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? When if you're teaching us that when a woman has a baby, there's the cord that they're attached to. Where's the, like, why we just ain't hooked to the rib? Like, why, you know what I'm saying? Or like, it didn't even make sense. So when I thought about that, I was like, yeah, I said, okay, I get it. Rib, ribonucleic acid, all it's in DNA. I got it. I'm here with that part. But I don't think that, I think that it's kind of like, what is it? Aesop's fables, where they use things to teach in that way. And it's not specific. We look at everything, like Kendra. Kendra is just, like she is just really like, what's the word that I'm trying to use? The L word.
Analytical.
Yeah, my son is like that. Like if I say 2 minutes ago, when it really was like an hour, so he's like, Mom, it wasn't just 2 minutes. Like that was over almost yesterday. You know what the hell I'm saying? Like, so people taking it literally when it's just supposed to be, figurative, and it's supposed to help you to get through and figure things out. But, we do take it so literally that wars have been fought over this because of the simple fact that, it's like, no, it says right here. And it's like, you're not taking the time to soak it in and understand what it means for you.
Yeah.
And I was just, because I just had an interview yesterday, and within that interview, the guy asked me about, religion. And so we ended up talking about it. And I say, that is, I feel like that's one thing that it's designed for you as an individual. When we came to this planet, neither one of us don't look alike. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of us got the same skin tone, height, weight, even our DNA is different.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't understand how you would feel like there's this specific thing. Here's this manual, and we all supposed to follow the same thing, and we all supposed to do the exact same thing. Because if that's the case, then we would all come here looking the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the general thing is that, listen, love is law. At the end of the day, love is law. You do everything from a place of love, and there's no issues. Like there's no problem. Where's the problem coming in if you're doing everything from a place of love? Yeah. And then what is love? You know what I'm saying? Like just teach that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the way my pastor, he says, because you go into these conversations, different places, and they come up at the weirdest times. But a lot of times people are just looking for a way to prove that they're right and prove that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
it's that power.
Yeah. So he often says, he's like, if I'm somewhere and somebody starts talking about, because they know he's a pastor, so it's like, so tell me about this right here, and how did this right here happen? And he says, he just flips it like, okay, what kind of pizza you like? Like, because you're not going to come to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for you, whatever you believe, that's okay. I do, and I get back to what you were saying, Illusion, about it. At the end of the day, it should be about love. Period. And that's even when talking to the witch from Africa. That's what it was. It's like it's about. At the end of the day, it's about how you love yourself and about how you love, each other. So it's like it's all the other stuff, because everybody believes that what they believe is right, you know, and anything can be questioned. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much you studied, you know, somebody else can come in and be like, okay, yeah, but you say this, but this, you know. So it's about, you know, especially with, you know, men and women and relationships, and, you know, it's about us knowing who we are and getting to know, you know, what our purpose is in the world. And then, you know, how do we take who we are to make the world a better place, you know, and doing that through love, and not looking for a way to have to judge somebody, or to have to make somebody feel bad, or have to make somebody prove, you know, prove to me why you are who you are. You can't do that. I don't have to prove to you why I am who I am. You know, it's just, this is who I am. We're all evolving per se with that.
People need to mind their damn business. That's
it's the power and control. Like, people are so hungry for power and control, and it's like it's really not that deep. Like, relax, chill out. That's why another thing I don't understand is that I like that Josh said that the Bible is basically a book full of poems. It's like poetry all over, and people like to say, well, poetry is not a real. It's not a real career. It's not a real thing. That music you listen to, that's poetry. That rap song that you wrote, that's poetry. In them textbooks, that's a form of poetry. It's just that it has a thick structure. And I'm just like, growing up, I was just like, poetry is me. Like, I'm poetry. But people are so quick to beat me down saying that, well, you can't make a living off of that. And I'm just like, well, COVID happened and look what happened. Now, please explain it.
Please explain.
Tell Nikki Giovanni that you can't. Okay. Tell them you're a rocker, you can't make a living.
Listen.
Tell Maya Angelou, come like you less.
Tell Phyllis Wheatley, she's the first person who ever did it. Tell Phyllis Wheatley she can't make a living off of it.
Tell this little 17-year-old girl that just went and stood on the steps of the White House that you can't make a living off of poetry. Tell you know what I'm saying? Like that's bull. People don't think that you know, like something that's simple, because they feel we've always been taught you got to work hard. Not saying that what we do is easy, because it's not easy to put yourself out there and put your feelings, even public speaking, you know, it's not hard, you know, like that's hard for people, you know what I'm saying? But no, folks want to hear what people have to say. We all individuals, so people really want to know what is inside of you. All of this is like, in a way, we all psychologists. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't even think about it in that place. All psychologists and therapists are on our own level. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we pull out of people certain things. When we say something, just like I did the whole poem. You know what I'm saying? And that, because I'm going back to that because I had something to say about that. But it was like, you know, that was like a whole bunch of emotion that was coming out of there. And people was like, it's not, because you know, like, yeah. But so I forgot again. We didn't. Because the other point that I was trying to make when Josh said, I think we was talking about women going back to, you know, like us ruling. Patriarchy has been around since the 1700s, and that was the point that I was trying to make the first time when I forgot. But it's like patriarchy has been around in Rome from the 1700s, and it started in Rome. That's not a us thing. Yeah. You know, we didn't come into that. Like, our thing was, we were out there. Sometimes the men will watch the kids, and the women would go out into the fields and go into battle or go hunting and whatever. And then sometimes, you know, it would be the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just to piggyback off of what you said, because I forgot the first time, and then
But
that's exactly it. We come from a place where this man before woman shit is not that's not our culture. That is not where we come from. I don't care where your black ass think you was from. You don't come from that. And I think, you know, we keep getting caught up in this, you know, boys had to go through rite of passage, so did women. And you had, I mean, if you don't believe it, go watch Black Panther. Where do you think those concepts came from? There was women warriors. There's women who ran tribes, who ran armies that was bigger and stronger armies than men had. Because y'all think very differently. I don't fuck with women. Y'all got some shit.
Because we think strategically, like, because we plan it out in our head. Like, all right, so if we take that route, that's gonna happen. Now I'm not feeling that. If we take that route, nah, there we go. That's it right there. Because then that's gonna happen, and we could ambush them right there, and bada bing, bada boom, we won. Ha! Period. Like,
and they always talking about we emotional, but men act from a very emotional place.
Very emotional.
Like you said before, if something happens out in the street, it's like they not thinking, let me back away, and you know,
they
like
react on impulse.
Right. We would get upset. We'd be like, ooh, you know, but we do take those seconds to think. And you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times a lot of men don't take those seconds to think, and you know, and it's very seen because the prisons are filled with way more men, you know, and unfortunately black men than they are filled with women. And it's just,
men generally see like this. So men see straight line, you know, so it's like, I want this woman, I'm gonna have her, right? They're not thinking anything else in between. We looking like we see everything that goes around. So women see circular, where men see linear, I guess is a good way to put it.
Well, men are also always going to see how men look more at how it looks from everybody else's point of view, too. That's a big thing about it. How does this look to
if it's going to disrespect you, how it looks towards your respect, kind of?
Right.
Okay.
It's always, you know, and is this good for me? Is this a good look? You know, is that a good look? Women don't necessarily do that. And you'll find a beautiful woman with a not so attractive man because of what he presents for her. Whereas most men, and I'm not saying men don't get unattractive women, because we do, but most men, there is something within that woman that is almost like, and men, y'all can argue all the hell you want. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's always semi-trophy-esque, if you would. Is there some sort of, okay, yeah, I can be proud to have this on my side for whatever that might be. Women don't always do that, right? Especially after you've been hurt and crushed and do some bullshit. You get a nice guy to come on and look like a damn Tasmanian devil. He treats you right, and you will make the exception with those looks because of what he does for you. Where most men, if we do that with a woman that's not attractive, we're going to keep her. Nobody going to see it.
We were talking about that yesterday.
But that's still a systematic thing. That's still what society says is okay.
Mm-hmm. We did. We talked about that. We had that exact conversation yesterday. Because it's like you have, you know, it's like this person, they look perfect, but then they start talking, and then you start hearing them little cues, and it's like, what? And it goes back. It's funny that you said that, because a lot of it goes back to that. It's like, okay, I see you, I like you. It's like, how do you like me? How do you like somebody after 2 hours? Like, what? It's like, no, what you like is you like the package. You like how something looks.
Yeah.
You like for how that look to be on your side, but you ain't. We have to consider everything else.
that goes into play with my trophy poem, where it says it's the idea of how I look on your shelf. Yeah. But the moment I start shedding that pretty golden thing and I start turning bronze and I start chipping away, it's just like, oh my God, you lied to me. Like, no, I was always honest. Like, what are you talking about? With me, when it comes to like guys, it's always the mind for me. I'm going to ask you questions so I can see how you think. Because if you think in some wickedness, then that means I got to take that L and I got to go stage left, because that ain't for me. Not doing it. So for me, it's the mindset. Like, yeah, I got to be attracted to you, but that's not the main factor of why I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you because I like to have conversation. And a lot of guys around my generation, they just want it because it looked pretty. Oh, mommy, daddy, I want that. She looked pretty. I want her. Mm-hmm. But when I start showing you that I'm a psychopath, it's like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. Like,
every woman has that crazy. Every woman has that capability to be, and men too. We have that level where if you take me too far, you're gonna get this crazy joke. It's just there.
I ain't gonna let nobody take me down.
But it's not fun. It's not fun because when I start doing that, when I start doing the laugh, it's like, oh snap! It's like the gray clouds just say, shoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop doing this. Like, this just not worth. Because you can tell when you get to a certain point, you can tell when somebody is just men look with their eyes and I think it can work. Women look at the inside and think it can work. Both could be dead. Yeah, both can be wrong.
Right.
That's why you have to take all of it into account. Like I do have to be physically attracted to you. One.
Yeah.
Like that's a given. I can't talk to nobody that's just not attractive to me. But I'm gonna listen to that's something that you learn. You don't have it automatically, but you have to learn to listen to signs. Like when somebody starts saying little off stuff and it don't sit with your spirit, you have to be like,
You got to be ready to book it, baby.
yes. Like, did you just like I heard what you just said, and then you try to sometimes to go back and get clarification, but then it's gonna end up coming back one way, shape, form, or another. Because
Right.
You ain't got to show me crazy, but one time you ain't got to say crazy like one time at this point, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Because you can't ignore those red flags.
Yes.
Like when I just like the track meet, because the track meet, like there's a white flag and a red flag. So when something goes wrong on the exchange, it's like, hey, and it's waving. They out there like, hey, something wrong down here. Like you can't, so you can't ignore it. Like I've dated somebody that I wasn't physically attracted to.
You did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've actually dated two people that I really wasn't physically attracted to from the beginning, but it was, it was just them. It was their personality that, like that just won me over more so than anything else. And, like we had good relationships because we were friends. Like we had a good friendship, good relationship, and I didn't look at them like, at first I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, it was just like, they became more attractive to me because of
that's what I was gonna say. Did that help?
Yeah,
like
everything else about them just became more attractive, and they actually started looking like looking good to me. And because my friends would be like, I don't even see it, like that is like that's not even your type. And I was like, what you mean? Because I'm like, I don't even think I have a type. But they were like, but I was like, it was just them inside, whatever it was that they brought, I was cool with. So I could get it because I can eventually look past it. I don't know. Something said, go date that fool. Something just said, go date that fool.
And he was like,
okay. But
Right.
you're not doing the horizontal mambo if I'm not attracted to you. It ain't happening.
So, Illusion, was there anything about the person that you were attracted to? Like their build,
like he was like really one guy. So one of them when I was like a teenager. I think I was 17, and so he was like really athletic built, and so I was like, okay, I'm like,
you got to give me. I'm like, I just gotta have something to work with.
She was like, okay,
I gotta have something I can work with. Like, give me some legs or some shoulders. Give me something I can work with.
Yeah, the other one was tall, and I liked his like from the back, the way his back looked. I'm a back person, like yeah. I'm like, I don't know, it's just something about the back and the small of the back. So I'm like.
Back it up.
I just learned to embrace and love my don't take me there side. She loves me and protects me.
I gotta close it out. I hate we only have an hour, but man, I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all to pieces. Thank y'all for tuning. Everybody who's here, listen. Tell your friends to come back. This is what we do here, right? And all your friends should be here with you in the mornings. If they're not here, they ain't your friend. No, I'm just playing.
No, he not.
Today is the best day to be the best you. So I challenge you to be better today than you were yesterday. You have everything you need to be amazing and great, super fantastic. But more importantly, you have everything you need to be loved. So start your day off with loving yourself and showing yourself that you are worthy of such love. Right? Give yourself a hug. Right? Love you. Till you can fall in love with that person in the mirror, you cannot possibly love anybody else. So fall in love with yourself today. If you don't have a reason why, go in the mirror and make up one. And it's all gravy. It's all gravy. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Peace and hair grease.